I do want to touch on the fact that this is now the 1 year anniversary of Joe Biden's presidency.
Yes.
And I did want to just touch on the fact that, it's been 1 year and he's done some things that I've agreed with, such as I do agree at the end of the day that we should get out of Afghanistan. And I'm
Yes.
glad that he held to it because, let's be honest here, our occupation there, and I will call it an occupation because that's exactly what it was just failing. It was
Yeah.
absolutely failing. We
Of
did
course.
not prop up the proper provisional government. We let the warlords just continue to gain power instead of actually trying to create a real government. We did not pay attention to the fact that ISIS and other terrorist groups were slowly gaining power within the region because the warlords that were in power were continually abusing people, and we just kept fucking up at every turn. And I agree that we should have gotten out of there.
Yeah.
And I do agree. I did like how he did try to push for Build Back Better, even though it didn't pass. And I do agree with his Justice Department going after the conspirators with the January 6th insurrection.
Yeah. Now, for the stuff that hasn't been handled well, the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, the student debt relief program. Now,
Yeah.
that has been um, constantly talked about. At most, we were because a big campaign motto of his was that he was going to help with the student debt crisis.
Yeah.
I personally was not optimistic about it, but I was expecting, you know what, he's
Yeah.
probably going to help out 10 grand at most for everyone.
Yeah.
But at most, he's delayed the start of payments back to May,
Yeah.
which is not going to help out, especially with the economy still faltering at this point.
Oh yeah.
Especially with the post-COVID economy and how we pretty much went through a recession at that point. It's not going to help out anybody, and it doesn't help any of the impediments that the newer generations face coming out of college.
Yeah. Another thing that really kind of bothers me is that even though this is more of a holdover from the Trump administration, um, COVID has gotten worse. COVID has gotten worse under Biden.
Yes.
I don't think it is wrong of us to point that out. It very much has. So I don't think it's wrong of us to point it out. I mean, the Omicron variant did start, so, and it's, been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking bad. Like, many aspects of our populace has just been dying left and right, for lack of a better term.
And yeah, I'm just saying everyone around me get infected with COVID. I had to get a test before coming on stream just to make sure that I didn't bring it over.
Yeah.
Because so many people I know have gotten it, and thankfully none of them are in serious danger or needing to go to the hospital, but gee, it's Omicron is really spreading way too fast and it's getting extremely overwhelming.
Yeah, it's really bad. And unfortunately, Biden is the president, and so he does have to take responsibility for this. And I mean, I am seeing him take it seriously, but I mean, I'm not seeing him take some responsibility for the fact that it hasn't gotten better under his watch.
Yeah.
And while I will admit, yes, it is a holdover from the Trump administration politicizing COVID and trying to use it as a way to get reelected by killing off lots of Democrats in highly populated areas, it still doesn't change the fact that it's gotten worse.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, at least the lethality of COVID has gone down. Not that that's any indication that we should take COVID less seriously. It's going to spread. While its lethality is down, its spread has increased tremendously, which will cause deaths to still increase. While its lethality, it's still something that we do need to consider moving forward. That our response to COVID has not been great.
It has not. Another thing I want to talk about is how he has not done, in my opinion, a better job of trying to strong arm Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema.
Yeah.
And whatever other Democrats were probably waiting in the wings to deny a lot of his bills if they got the chance.
Yeah.
He has
If it
not done
wasn't,
a good job of trying to rein in the party. He is the head of the party.
and not even that. Like he's not even denouncing like the party attempting the rotating villain strategy.
Yeah,
Which if it's not going to be Kirsten Sinema or Joe Manchin, it'll be like Chris Coons or something. It's similar to that.
or it could be the Senate parliamentarian. It could be anyone. But the fact that Joe Biden has not gotten control of the party is really telling. And I mean, if you've seen the interview between Kamala Harris and Charlemagne the God, where Kamala completely sidestepped the criticisms of Biden that Charlemagne brought up, it's really telling that Biden does not have control over the party.
Yeah, which I mean, some people have argued that the whole point of electing Biden was to make sure that he fails so that progressives rise up from the ashes, but I don't know if that's a viable strategy.
I don't know if it is, considering the fact that, well, we have the midterms coming up and
And
Republicans are looking poised to make a big swing.
yeah, well, I do see a lot of like indications that progressives are rising up. Like, there's probably going to be a significant amount of progressives that will probably win primaries coming up. I don't think it's going to be that much, though.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason.
Because
Yeah,
there's a special election in Florida where a progressive won.
yeah,
And
but the Republican still hasn't conceded yet.
yeah, even though like the percentage difference was massive.
Yeah, this is just going to be the regular Republican strategy from now on.
Yeah, is that no matter what, they can just deny election results and it's now the norm.
Yeah. Yeah, so kind of just to finish up this topic, I want Biden to do better. He was never my first pick, but he was definitely preferable to the actual fascist autocrat that was Donald Trump. But he needs to step up his game. I know it's only been 1 year and we got 3 more and he can turn it around, but right now he's been too softball on a lot of issues and I think he needs to play hardball. He needs to whip the party into gear. He needs to go on the offense. He needs to stop playing defense and he needs to stop playing to this now mythical reasonable bipartisan conservative that no longer exists. They are of a bygone era. He needs to step into the 21st century and he needs to whip the party into shape and be like, we gotta show our strength.
Yeah, because at this point, the illusion of bipartisanship is only going to damage Democrats as both parties radicalize. Because while the left has been radicalizing to a great extent, the right wing of the American political sphere has been radicalizing at an equal extent, and let's just face it, but with both sides radicalizing, one is a little more concerning, and it's clearly not the one that cares about workers' rights, and obviously the one that is very close to fascism.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that are just blatantly racist, the ones that on MLK's birthday will just make fun of him and talk about the supposed orgies and drugs and all that different stuff. Which, by the way, orgies and drugs are not necessarily bad in the first place. If you know who I'm talking about, you know he's just a dumbass piece of shit and a failed comedian.
Well, it's because it's degenerate. That's why they make it. It's because they loathe degeneracy.
No, you know they don't loathe degeneracy.
No, you didn't let me finish my point.
Okay, fine.
They loathe degeneracy even though they equally engage in that stuff.
No, not equally. More so.
Oh yeah,
These people
they're more guilty of indulging in their quote unquote degeneracy.
Listen, you know how the GOP works: gaslight, obstruct, project. Anyways, I do want to touch on just one last thing, which is